identifies abrosexual are fluid with their sexualities.
What?
Like gender fluid, abrosexual friends one day might feel pan, but then the next day they might feel asexual. And a week later, they could just be gay. Their sexualities are fluid.
Does this mean they're fluid with all the sexualities?
Some. Every abrosexual is different. And we love our abrosexual friends!
What's with all the pansexuals these days? I don't get it. But I gotta get with the times. So, I'm gonna try it. Here I go. If you thought you were confused before, you're more confused now because this guy just invented another pronoun. Brosexuals. And what are brosexuals? Well, apparently, brosexuals can go from being pansexual, meaning they're aroused by cookware, to asexual, meaning they're not aroused by anything or anyone, to gay, meaning, you know what that means. Also, was that a guy? Was that a girl? I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if it even matters, because I do know one thing. That person is extremely confused and begging for attention. And attention he got, so good for him, or her, or them. Anyway, in today's video we're going to be looking at woke headlines around the world. And then we're going to cleanse our palates with some woke TikToks. However, this is no ordinary task. So I'll be handing over the reins to my cousin, Judge Ginger. And he will be handing out the appropriate sentences. Did he say appropriate sentences? No. The woke are sentenced to death. Of course, there's always the re-education camps, but I've heard those are worse. Hey, no interruptions. You'll be held in contempt. Very well then. Now we can begin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in my courtroom, and this is how this is gonna work. I'm going to read you the name of the news organization, then we're going to read the headline, and then the sub-headline. Let's begin with The Atlantic. The hidden bigotry of crosswords. The popular puzzles are largely written and edited by older white men, who dictate what makes it into the grid and what is kept out. By Nathan Last. Well, my friend Nathan Last, you are apparently last in brain cells. That wasn't a good joke, but it doesn't need to be a good joke because you have been sentenced to death. Case closed. Next. Detroit Free Press worries over racism. Waterways inspire push to rename Asian carp. Hashtag Asian Lives Matter, be it human or fish. Who wrote this? John Flesher? You're fired. That sentence. No re-education camps for you. Next. Shark attacks rebranded as negative encounters or interactions. Australian authorities are pushing to rebrand shark attacks as negative encounters in a bid to de-stigmatize the misunderstood creature. Yes, we must de-stigmatize because the shark's feelings are hurt. And we can't have that in a world of love, freedom, unity, and LGBTQ plus sharks. Who wrote this? News.com.au. I don't know who wrote this, so you know what? Australia, you have been sentenced to death. Next. This is from Breitbart, but it's actually talking about BBC News, excuse me. What's the best way to inform teenagers about prawn? Should there be an age-appropriate prawn, as has been suggested, so they can learn about consent and what's respectful and what's not? What do you think? Email your opinions. bbc.you guys are out of your mind. Should we have prawn for kids? Okay, let's say yes. How early should we start them off? Maybe at 13? Nah, let's do 10. Or maybe we could do like animated prawn and give it to the 5-year-olds. BBC, you have been sentenced to death. Next. This is a good one. Axios. Media trust hits new low. You want to see how low? Well, let's look at the chart. That's funny. Interesting how right before the 2020 election, it was an all-time high. And then what happened? The mainstream media overplayed their hands. They blatantly lied about everything. The election, the virus. And now, there's no trust. So what can you do about it? Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Tim Pool, The Daily Wire. You know, small, independent outlets. Of course, I'm the only small one there, but you know, subscribe or you'll be sentenced to death. It's a joke, YouTube. Jesus Christ. All right, next. Good old comrades at the New York Times. Jogging has always excluded black people. Obviously. Born in Lillywhite, Oregon, it's a sport that's long claimed to be for everyone, even as African American joggers have been persistently subjected to harassment and worse. Jogging has always excluded black people. Funny, have they taken a look at the Olympics? At the gold medalists? Any white fellas there? Wrong. Comrades at the New York Times, I'll go easy on them. Re-education camp. Next. What is this? Today's parent. Oh, this is a nice one. We need to rethink the way we teach kids table manners. Sounds decent, right? Let's get into it. The message that eating food with your hands is unmannered is dripping with the control and shame of colonization. Here we go with the critical race theory. And we need to rethink our idea of good manners, says chef and food activist Shona Maharash. Yeah, I mispronounced the name. So what are you going to do? Sue me. Call me a racist. Whatever you're going to do. Here's the thing. Eating with your hands can be okay if they're properly, cleansed. But if not, it could be very dirty and lead to serious disease. I couldn't care less. This one, my friends, from Rebel News. This one hits hard. Because me and my cousin, Gaston, our homeland is Argentina. Now, of course, we live in the best country on earth. But our homeland, where we were born, Argentina. Argentina becomes first country in Latin America to add non-binary options to ID documents. This is retarded by all sense of the imagination and meaning in English, but there's an additional factor of retardation because Argentina uses Spanish language, and Spanish is a gendered language. So to start with the non-binary nonsense, you're going to end up tearing the whole language apart. It's not going to make any sense. So, Rebel News, thank you for showing this. Argentina, death. Next. Scientific American. Let's see what the science says. The racist roots of fighting obesity. Prescribing weight loss to black women ignores barriers to their health. Fighting obesity now is racist. Being fat is healthy. Funny how during these times of pandemic, everyone encourages you to get the shot, but nobody encourages you to lose weight. Get healthy. Funny how things work, huh? Scientific American, very unscientific. I sentence you to double death. Forbes, why speaking English may spread more virus than some other languages. Because science. You know what, Alison Escalante? We're not even going to get into this one. You're fired. Death. And the last one. CNN. That's how we like to end things here with a bang. Communist News Network, baby. Reparations for slavery could have reduced virus transmission and death in the U.S. Harvard study says. Does anyone believe that type of headline? I'm not even going to give it a chance. I'm not going to get into the article. The headline says all I need to know. CNN is race baiting fake news. So, Chris Cuomo, Brian Seltzer, Don Lemon, and everybody else at CNN, Wolf Blitzer. Death. Death for all. Death. Death for all. If you've made it this far, thank you and congratulations. Now, it's time to cleanse our palates with woke TikTok.
There, you can either respect my trans homies, or I can identify as a fucking problem. And if I catch your bitch ass being disrespectful, your pronouns are going to be was, were. Thank you for coming, and have a nice day.
That didn't cleanse my palate at all. That woman was violent, not just woke. Double death. Next.
What are some of the ways that white people My white people, what are some of the ways that white people raise their children that are unique to white people that are abusive? And I want the real tea, because I already know. I noticed that in the field of psychology, sociology, social work, Black people and people of color's parenting in general is always pathologized. But I don't hear nothing about white parenting. I don't hear anything about the inherently abusive way that white people parent their children. So I want y'all to sound off. Like, I really want y'all in the comments to be honest and tell me who's been paying attention to their own existence.
You know, in this one, I was sort of following along, waiting to see what she was going to say, and then she hit me with white people are inherently racist. Therefore, she's a racist. Therefore, death or re-education, death or re-education. Death. Case closed. Alright, thank you, cousin. Thank you. Hard as that guy, huh? Well, I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but... Anyway. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, because people need to understand the new pronouns. If not, they're just going to be bigots. We need to educate them. And in order for people to know what a brosexual is, they need to see this video. So share, like, and subscribe. See you next time.